Welcome back, everyone. Let's talk a little bit about game loops and the always event. So games run on a loop, and this loop, basically what it is it's a bunch of code in the game program that is constantly being called. So for example, it could be about 60 times a second, and that depends on which device you are actually working with. So a lot of times you'll see an update method, and if you ever see the word update in games, it's the same as this game loop, and it's a part where if you put that code in there, the computer is always checking for it. So when the code is in the always box, it is checking for that game loop. Okay, and you've probably seen the words FPS somewhere in games. So in this case, it's frames per second, not first-person shooter, but frames per second. And a lot of times, if there's code within that update section, and there's a lot of lag in the game, for example, if your game has a lot of stuff going on, and it goes from 60 frames per second all the way to 30, that updates section is going to start to lag. And that's one of the reasons why games can lag. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit more about the always feature here. So let's go ahead and go into test actor, and let's go into events. And what we're going to do is we're going to make the actor move across the screen. So we're going to go to add event, basics, when updating. And as you can see, this always block, anything that will happen in here, the code will constantly get updated at a very small time interval. So it will happen quite quickly. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make sure this actor area is selected. We're going to go and drag this over here, and we're going to drag this, and we're going to actually put that right in there. We're going to click on numbers and text, and we're also going to drag this plus sign right here. We're going to go and move that right there. Okay, and as you can see, all of the shapes are fitting in. We're just going to push 1, and what this is that, remember, anything in this events here will actually get called, and we can also do that in the behaviors here. But I'm just making sure that it's in the events. So if we go ahead and test the game, you can see that the star is now moving. Okay, and that means is that this is basically moving at a specific time interval. That this is always getting created. Now let's just quickly go over the code here. We're going to go to set X, and remember, X is anything along the horizontal axis, so left and right. So we're going to set it to the current X plus 1, and it's going to constantly add that. So let's say the X is 1. So at, let's say, 1 second, it's going to get 1 plus 1, so now it's going to equal 2. And then when it equals 2, the next time this loop comes around, 2 plus 1 is equal to 3, and so on and so forth. So as you can see, if I test the game again, it just simply moves across. And that is pretty much how you use the always feature, and that is how you move something across the screen. I'll see you guys next time.